Hi everyone, welcome back to Momoiro Closet, episode 12, where Alice is trying to get closer to Reiji and be more than just friends or comrades, as Alice says. So Alice is trying to learn all the secrets that Reiji is trying to hide from everyone. But we can also see that Alice is trusting Reiji a lot more than before, and is seeing him as one of her supports, or one of her helpers. And one evidence is how Alice lets her merchandise of FNL be hung up in Reiji's room, even though Alice paid for the merchandise by herself. So right now, Alice and Reiji are talking about the different episodes in FNL, and there's one episode that's interesting where, as Frill was trying to defeat a monster, she had a bathroom emergency and was trying to hold it in. And Alice, for some reason, wants to replicate that because, well, maybe that will allow me to see how Frill felt and get all those facial expressions. And now we get to help Reiji decide what he should say to Alice. Whether or not B, okay, I'll just go along with what Alice wants, or A, just end it right here, tell Alice to stop. So I'm pretty sure option A is the sweet route, option B is the spicy route. And I'm not going to play option B, but I'll tell you what happens. So what happens is that in option B, he tapes Alice as she's holding it in, and once the episode ends, it was just too much for Alice to handle, and she ends up urinating on Reiji's bed. And that's quite disgusting. And he ends up having to clean it up, plus endure the urine smell. And I'm not sure if anyone else found out about it, Nayuta, Anna, or Ichika. But it was just so embarrassing that Reiji had to clean up the mess that Alice just left. So let's see what happens if I pick option A. So end it here. Okay, so Reiji tells Alice, Kagemura-san, I think you've taken a step too far here. Okay, so even though Alice wants to do it, she does understand what Reiji's trying to tell her. It's like, well, I do understand that you think it's not a good idea. Okay, so just think about it. What if you really did end up wetting yourself? You'd be reminded of it every time you visited. Okay, well, you do have a point, and it's quite bad. Well, Christ, she's hopeless. The idea's only turning her on more. Okay, so now she realizes that it's not working and she really needs to go. Wait, hold on a minute. I think you should hurry up and get to the bathroom. Oh, just take it slow, okay? So don't run. Don't hurt yourself even more than what you currently are in. Okay, just keep it quiet, okay? Oh, sure, go. So I lead the way to the bathroom very carefully, as I'm only too aware of the time bomb I'm bearing. So soon after she enters, I hear her breathe a sigh of relief. To rival Frill, I guess that should have satisfied her curiosity. Okay. Well, honestly, I feel like I've wasted an opportunity here. So for Reiji's like, well, maybe I should let her do it because, well, I don't know why. So as I wait in front of the locked door, I'm wondering what might have happened instead. Okay, so we're back at school, and Reiji's like, well, I'm starving. Well, maybe I'll drop by the school. I think it should say cafeteria before class. Well, it's recess, so basically break time. I'm about to hurry out of the classroom when... So what happens? So for some reason, Yoriko shows up in Reiji's classroom. And I wonder what's the issue, because this is not normal. Oh, so it's the old stun gun, Mitake-san. Yeah, she is, but she's going on ahead to our next class. And I'm sure Satsuki does not want to see this person, because I'm sure Satsuki expects Yoriko to nag at her about her punctuality, her attendance, all the usual school/academic stuff. Yeah, well, it sounds tough. So I bet Sakahogi-san is avoiding her. So what's the next problem that the student council has against her? So we do know that the attendance problem is fixed, partially. Well, she seems to have an aversion to pains in the neck. So what do you want from her? I can pass along the message if you like. So what's wrong? That monologue sounds like it could have come straight from a light novel. Well, I wasn't doing that. I wasn't eavesdropping. Well, that's a bit of a tall order when I'm standing right here. It's like, well, even if you mention that it's not from anywhere, it doesn't really make sense, because there's no way you would have worded that phrase or sentence naturally. Well? So what's with that face? Well, maybe I don't really understand what you're trying to say or what you're trying to imply, so... Hey, well, I didn't say anything. I'm just surprised to see her laugh, though. Before I got to know her, I thought she was a calm and composed kind of girl. But after talking to her, I discovered that she actually wears a heart on her sleeve. So anyways, going back to Sakahogi-san, I don't mind helping if you don't mind anyways. So, well, there's some problem, and... So, what's the problem? So I wonder what she wants to do. Oh, well, sure, I was planning to drop by the school cafeteria anyways, so, while I was at it.
Okay.
Okay, so let's go then. Well, it's nothing. Let's just go. She's friendlier than I expected.
この本を返却してほしいの。
The book back to her. Mitake-san nervously glances around before taking a single paperback out of her pocket. So the cover prominently displays a scantily clad character. Oh, indeed another mom book. Well, come to think of it, Sakahogi-san had said she was going to buy it. So I think the copy that Yoriko has in her hand actually belongs to Reiji and not Satsuki. But I'm pretty sure Yoriko doesn't know that.
やっぱり鹿島くんは知ってるんだ。これさすがだね。
Well, I'm pretty sure even you would be questioning why I'm doing this. Like, why am I returning this, even though I forcefully confiscated this in episode 1. Hey, what's that supposed to mean?
そういうのに詳しいでしょ?
So why would Yoriko come up with this question?
私、こういうの全然わかんなくて。やっぱり、鹿島くんが適任ね。
So you want me to give this back to Sakahogi-san, right?
そう、なんかね、実は坂ホゲさんの生徒会への印象が最悪で避けられてるっぽいの。
Well, that makes sense, given how much hate, how much lecture the student council has given to Satsuki. Ah, well, really? Well, I'm surprised. She noticed. So Sakahogi-san doesn't seem to be terribly fond of Mitake-san. Well, we're almost at my next class.
いつもは初版なら見逃すんだけど、係の子が見た目だけで再販だと思って没収しちゃってさ、それも謝りたかったのに。
I wonder if this rule came out from the blue, or maybe Alice, she kind of relaxed the rule on Satsuki, given now that Alice knows that Satsuki's also an FNL fan. So okay, student council, why don't we give Satsuki a warning and let her off the hook for once? Okay, alright, I get it. I'll get this back to her and tell her you apologized.
そう、助かる。こんなこと会長には頼めなかったし。
So why not?
事情を知った会長がそういうことなら私から返しておくって言ったの。
Okay, so I'm pretty sure Yoriko's referring to Alice. Like, well, Alice wanted to return the book to Satsuki herself.
だけど、こんな表紙じゃない？会長、オタクなものに免疫ないだろうから、私がしてるの。
Okay, so Yoriko still believes that Alice can't handle things like this. Well, I see. So that's why. And it's best if Reiji doesn't expose it to Yoriko. Oh, Kakamura-san. Everyone has the wrong impression of you. Well, on the contrary, she's into the hardest of hardcore otaku stuff. Alright then, so I'll take care of it.
お願いします。
I take the book and put it away in my pocket. So small paperbacks are easy to hide this way, while some are a bit too thick to cram into a pocket, though. Well, I'm pretty sure they do have a size on how big the manga can be. Unless you want to buy one of those subscription books, because those are about the size of a regular paper.
それ不可抗力で中を見ちゃったんだけど、挿絵がすごいその戦場的というか。なんで坂穂木さんそんなの読めるんだろう。
And I think it's best not to know the details about this. Well, different strokes for different folks, I guess.
あ、そろそろ私も戻らなきゃ。それじゃあよろしく。ありがとう。どうなったか教えてね。
Yeah, well, sure thing. See you. As I watch Mitake-san hurrying back to her own classroom, I cannot help but think. While I'm impressed, she knows the expression forced. Let's see. Majuri. I wonder if she reads a lot of books. Well, she seems to respect Kakemura-san almost to the point of worship, though.
ああ、より子って私のこと完全無欠の生徒会長だと思ってるからね。
Okay, so later the afternoon, when he goes home with Alice, he tells Alice about all the things that Yorika mentioned. Well, that's the impression I got. Okay, so it's Sunday, a little past noon. Kakemura-san has come to my place to play with the F&L merch after her crafting class. When I told her what happened with Mitake-san, that was her response.
なぜかアニメとか漫画とかに免疫ないって思われてるみたいで、生徒会でも募集した漫画とか触らせてもらえないのよね。
Well, that's how it always is. So, she's so by the books. It's not even respect anymore at this point. It's almost like she's worshipping you.
なんでも私がより子にとっての理想の女の子なんだって。
Well, I think it's like, well, looking at Alice and looking at what she does at school, that makes her perfect. So, good grades, always helping out people, is trying to enforce the rules, the most important fact. So the ideal girl. While I lean on the side of my bed while reading a book and inadvertently sneak a glance at Kakemura-san. So she's flopped around on the bed in cosplay, arms wrapped around her fan-made body pillow, okay, all the while staring at the posters on the ceiling with a big grin on her face. Well, is this the ideal girl? So you can never reveal your power level to Mitake-san, huh?
絶対無理。基本的にいい子だし、友達としても好きなんだけどね。
So things like, well, it's pretty hard to do so, given all the respect that she's given to me. So.
でもなぜかすっごくオタクなものを毛嫌いしてるから、私も大っぴらにはできないじゃない？
Okay. So you adapted to her attitude, and she mistakenly got the impression that you hated it, right?
そう。あとはお父さんのこともあって、ますます拍車がかかった感じ。
And the father thing again. Well, I mean, nobody would expect the daughter of a politician who's in favor of censorship to be a cosplayer.
だよね。知ったらひっくり返っちゃうんじゃないかな。
Okay. Well, I bet. I like to think I'm pretty used to otaku stuff, but even I'm surprised by your crazy whims sometimes. So I smile wryly, and Kakemura-san starts fidgeting on the bed. I go back to reading though. I have to wonder if she's getting uncomfortable in that posture. Okay, so Alice gives Reiji the tug. That means she wants to make a inappropriate request or an inappropriate message. So without saying up, she tugs at my clothes. So what is it?
それでですね。眷属。
Wait. So why with that sickly sweet voice?
実は私ちょっと興味あることがあるんだけど、協力してもらえませんかね。
Oh, I want to do something. So will you help me? So what are you interested in? Question?
だからこういうことです。
Okay, I don't know why she's tugging at Reiji again, even though she's already got his attention, and he knows what Alice is trying to ask of him. Oh, so she's simply signaling that she wants to talk. So I closed the book I was reading and then turned to face her properly. Ooh, so she moved closer. So I think the first time Alice tugged Reiji, he didn't bother to pay attention. And he's just like, okay, well, I'm all ears. So just go on. But Alice wants his full attention. Okay, so could you start out by telling me what you want?
私、露出してみたい。
Uh-oh. Wait. Is that true?
あれ、よく引く？
Well, of course it is. Wait a minute. Do you mean, like, exposing yourself in front of others? Like, public exhibition?
その人前に出る露出だけど？
Well, I think Alice is taking it too literally. Wait, all naked? Because that's what the definition of exhibition is.
コスプレで。
Oh no, I want to show myself in cosplay. I'm sure exhibition is the wrong word. Basically, like present myself in cosplay. That sounds much better. Huh? Wait a minute. Kaimura-san blinks in confusion, ruminating on what I just said. Well, I don't know why Alice is freaking out about that. She's misinterpreting what Reiji is trying to say to her. It's like, well, when you say exhibition, you mean you want to be all naked out in public. But if you say that you're in cosplay, that's not exhibition. She finally draws away a little. Well, that's too bad. Oh, so So you were just talking about cosplay.
当たり前じゃない。全裸で人前に出るとか完全に極まった変態じゃない。
No, I'm not that kind of person. Don't get me wrong. Wait, but isn't that what it means to expose yourself? You know, you go out wearing nothing but a long coat and then... So he's telling Alice what that word means.
それは露出狂って言わない？いや、確かに私の言い方も紛らわしかったけど。
Well, I think flash is like you basically just make a quick exposure and then cover yourself.
でもこうして衣装着てるわけだし、さすがにそこまで変態じゃないっていうか、察してよ。
Well, can you really blame me? It's unusual for you to wear your cosplay after crafting class, so I did notice, but I have no idea why. Well, how did you get the idea of going on in cosplay anyways?
それは、
it's because of... Did you read something weird on the internet again? Or was it a manga that got you interested?
なんでそういうところだけ察しがいいの?
Well, I think this is what Alice usually does, and Reiji can predict it. It's like, well, I'm pretty sure you got this crazy idea from somewhere online or some discussion with other fans. And I think for Reiji's like, well, this is natural. I do see a lot of people doing it, especially when they're a hardcore otaku fan. So Alice doing this is not out of the box. Well, maybe because your information sources tend to be very limited. There you go. I can predict what you usually do. Well, the only other option would have been Anna giving some kind of weird ideas into her head again. So do you talk up? Okay, so do you already talk to Anna about this?
いや、それをするとなんかすごい段階を飛ばしそうだから、羽島くんが初めて。
Well, that'd be too embarrassing to do so. I can't let her know about it. And I think if Anna knows about it, she'll get all crazy and really push for it, and even go through all the bells and whistles. And I think the end result would be that Alice would be even more embarrassed than just simply asking Reiji for this idea. I see. Well, I'm happy to hear that you've learned some lessons.
私は嬉しくないな。羽島くんにそんな風に見られていたなんて。
Well, I don't. I just wasn't expecting you to come up with something like this, so I'm pleasantly surprised.
あ、なるほど。確かにそうだね。ああ、よかった。
So she's a bit too easy to deal with. That in itself is a little worrying though. Okay, so after that, Kagomiro-san tells me the details. So apparently she's following several FNL fan blogs, and one of them is rather quirky. There you go. The author recreates dishes that appear in the anime and reviews new merchandise, for example. So one post describes how they went to a formal party carrying a piece of FNL merch, a pen-shaped transformation item in their breast pocket, which apparently got them really excited. And I wonder if Alice can filter out what is considered okay and what is considered just too crazy, just some crazy person making up or making all sorts of ridiculous stories about what they did. So you thought it sounded like fun and it made you want to go out and cosplay, right?
そう、その人のレポートが秀逸で、読んでるだけでその。
Okay, so the person made it sound interesting. It's like, oh, I did this and this happened. It was quite exciting. And he or she probably used like the really good adjectives to make it sound exciting. And now Alice wants to try it too. Well, even though we're inside my room, she nervously glances around and whispers in my ear.
濡れちゃったの。
What?
ちょっと何見てるの？さすがに今は全然違うから。いや、実際はどんな感じなんだろうという期待と話してるうちに思い出して、そのまあちょっと反応しちゃってはいるけどさ。
So I wonder why walking on cosplay is going to turn Alice on. That does not make sense. Well, you don't have to be that open about it. Well, that only makes it harder for me to look at her. Well, I try to stop myself from focusing my gaze on any specific part of her. But don't you think it would be a bit much if you simply walked out like this?
ふふふ、そう思ってこれを用意してきました。
So I did think about it and I have that covered. So what's Alice going to do? Okay, so she takes something out of the paper bag that she brought. It looks like some kind of long garment. Wait, a coat?
そう、コート。これならすっぽり隠せるでしょ?
And you be able to take it off whenever you want.
そうそう。
True. Well, that is pretty weird, you know.
違う!
Oh, come on, it's already embarrassing. I don't like it when you keep bringing up more things that makes it worse.
ちゃんと薄手で、だけど透けない、可愛いデザインのにしてるもん。ほら、よく見て。
Okay, so she swiftly slips the coat on and shows it off to me. So her deft movements suggest that she's practiced as much at home. Wait, so why is she practicing putting on a coat? Now that's overkill.
ほら、どう?
Okay. Well, you're right. It does completely cover your costume. Well, I'm pretty sure that's what a coat does. But the hem of the skirt is peeking out from underneath though. So it doesn't cover you all the way.
そうなのよ。丈は十分足りてるはずなんだけど、胸で前が持ち上がっちゃうのよね。
Oh, well, you're right. But I don't think coats are designed to cover all the way to the bottom. Well, I think there are some that do.
なんか今日一番の食いつきを感じるんですけど。
But on the other hand, I feel like you're not really into watching me walk out to the streets in cosplay. You kind of feel uninterested, and it's making me concerned, and it makes me feel that this is a bad idea. Well, like, come on, I'm doing something that's embarrassing. I'm doing something that's outside of what I usually do, so I need support. I need someone to cheer me, and you're not giving me that. So Reiji's like, well, or nah, I'm just giving my honest impression. Can I have a closer look?
いいけど、見るだけだからね。
Well, of course not. I wouldn't want to betray the painstakingly earned trust of my comrade.
そうしてじっくり見るだけでも十分変態じみてるような気もするけど。
But it looks like you want to do it the way that you're looking at me. So I crouched down in front of her to observe the outfit. So the coat is tighter than it looked at first glance, and the hemline arches up slightly in the front. Well, basically the arch represents the size of Kagemura-san's breasts. It's almost like your boobs are pulling it up on purpose because they want people to notice the costume.
変な言い方しないで。っていうか、この一部だけでもバレちゃうよね。
But you also see that behind Alice you can see some pink coming out. And I'm sure that's going to be a better giveaway than what's up. Well, I doubt anybody would notice unless they were hardcore fans. Well, normies would probably think that you're just wearing a flashy, colorful skirt.
つまり、これなら安全に移動できるわよね。
But is it okay for me to go out like this then? Well, you sound like you're ready to go. Or you're raring to go.
そりゃあね。だからこうして日が落ちるのを待ってたわけだし。
So that's why you stayed over for so long. I was starting to wonder why you weren't going home.
私、今日は帰りたくない気分なの。
Alright, okay, so let's get going then.
ちょっと待
So I think Reiji wants to hurry up and get this done and then send Alice home, even though Alice doesn't want to. When I leave the room, Kagimura-san reluctantly follows after me, shoes in hand. Okay, so I don't want anyone else to find out or to notice. Nayuta, Anna, and Ichika.
ねえ、もういいから何でも急じゃない？私まだ心の準備が。
Well, if Alice waits longer, clock's not gonna wait for Alice or time. Well, you're the one to talk. I'm not the one who suddenly brought this up.
それは確かにそうだけど、でも。
Okay, so before Alice can say more, Reiji just grabs Alice out the door. Wait, what? She lets out a weird yelp and freezes. I follow her gaze and there I see. Okay, so the mom, Nayuta, noticed something. Says like, oh, so mom, you're home?
ただいま。アリスちゃんは今お帰り？もうこんな時間だし、夕飯食べて帰りなさいな。
Oh, you know, it's getting late, so how about you have dinner with us before you take off?
あ、その用があるので、お誘いありがとうございます。
Pass? Mom pours herself some tea and looks at Kagimura-san.
そう？まあ仕方ないわね。せっかくならこのままうちの子になればいいのに。
Oh, that's too bad. I was hoping that you would stay longer with us.
あ、それちょっと興味あります。
Uh-oh. I wonder if Alice is being bought in by Nayuta. Huh?
アリスちゃんってば。今の冗談はさすがにご両親に悪かったわね。
Well, we don't mind, but I'm sure your father would mind, so...
冗談だって分かってますよ。あ、時間。行こう、はじまくん。
Oh, okay, well, let's just go. Maybe next time. Alright, I'm going to go and send her off. Mom?
はーい。しっかりね。
Have fun! Says Nayuta.
はじまくんの家の子になったら、いっちゃんと毎日遊べるのよね。
Okay, so this goes back to I wish I had a sister.
すっごい惹かれる。
So I think that happened around episode 8 when Alice mentioned that, well, I'm the only child and I wish I had someone to play with. I had a sibling. And she envies Reiji for having Ichika. But then again, I feel that Ichika doesn't really like Reiji because he doesn't really play much with her and is not a big fan of FNL compared to Alice. Well, doesn't it? So I'm a little bummed that the option of marrying me doesn't even seem to cross her mind. Wait, Mom was giving me a pitiful look too, probably for the same reason. Well, I'm hopeless.
ところでさ、なゆたさん全然気づいてなかったよね。
But on the good side, at least Nayuta doesn't notice that I'm going out cosplaying. Oh, you mean just now?
そうそう。これなら普通に街中歩けるってことよね。やったー。
Hey, just don't get overconfident. Well, I'm not sure Nayuta is much of a threat. I think it's the father of Alice that's gonna be a threat, or maybe one of Alice's classmates or people in school that's gonna be more of a threat because they're not gonna be as forgiving as the mother or Anna or Ichika or Reiji, and they may end up spreading bad rumors around school. So, recalling Mom's demeanor only moments ago, I decided to give Kagemura-san a warning. As she was pouring her tea, she was blatantly staring at the bit of the skirt peeking out from underneath Kagemura-san's coat. Well, I'm sure she did notice, but just didn't want to bring it up or mention it. But Mom's got especially sharp eyes, so I guess she is an exception. So, in a sense, the mom knows what's going on and doesn't want to bring it up or tell Reiji and Alice. So let's just pretend that nothing happened. So we've been walking outside for a while now, so how goes it?
ガッチガチに緊張してたから一滴も濡れてない。
But you don't have to check every 5 minutes though. I grab her arm, pulling her hand away from her crotch.
でもさ、ドキドキはしてるんだよ。触らせられないから証明できないけど、すごいの。
Well, I'm going out of my way to help you, and you won't even let me cop a feel?
まあ、でもそうよね。
Well? Wait, no. I'm sorry. Forget what I said. That's not why I decided to come with you.
あ、うん。だよね。わかってる。はじまくん、本気でそういうこと言うキャラじゃないもんね。
Okay, so that's how she sees me then. She doesn't think of me as a manly man at all. I guess that's better than being nervous around me all the time though. Like how most girls are around guys. Okay, so what do you have in mind exactly?
どういうこと?
You wanted to expose yourself, right? In that case, you have to take off the coat somewhere.
それはそうだけど、例えばここでとか?
So we're still pretty close to my home, but you know that this road is usually pretty empty. So maybe this is a good place to take off your coat and walk in cosplay. It's like, well, no one's gonna notice that you're taking off the coat, and maybe that's a... Well, anyways, so you haven't run into anybody so far yet.
確かに。
And that's... Okay, so here, I'll hold your bag and keep an eye out for other people.
そんな、はいどうぞで脱げるわけないって。
But that's kind of weird. That's kind of awkward that we're stripping right here on a street. Maybe we should do it in the bushes or some secluded area. Or some corner. Okay, so let's just keep walking until you're ready.
それでお願いします。
Okay then. So she's usually pretty quick to carry out her strange whims, but when push comes to shove, she's lacking in confidence. And that's one of the things that I like about her though. Okay, so 30 minutes later.
はじまくん、誰も来てない。本当に誰も。
So I think they found a place where Alice is ready to take off that coat. Okay, well, I don't see anybody. So this is probably a good place. So the contrast between Kagemura-san's nervous, ragged breaths and my slow, lazy response couldn't be bigger. So half an hour has passed since we started looking for the right time and place for her to take off the coat. but as of now, she hasn't even managed to undo the buttons.
どうしよう。手が全然動かない。ただ前を開くだけなのに。なんかごめんね。私、スパッと脱げないヘタレで。
So Alice knows that she has to take off that coat at some point if she wants to walk in cosplay, but it's really hard for her to make that one step, let alone find a place to do it comfortably. Well, nah, I think it's a pretty normal reflex. You know, you don't have to feel sorry. So although she's a little special, wanting to walk around outside in her cosplay,
自分でもまさかここまで緊張するとは思わなかった。
so what do you want to do then? Maybe call it a day and try again some other time?
いや、何事も最初が肝心。こんなところで恥ずかしがってたらフリルに失礼だわ。
And I also think that Alice isn't gonna find another chance to do this. So like, well, it's now or never. I have to do it now. Otherwise, it's gonna be hard for me to find this other chance to try again. Wait, you can't do it unless you turn on that weird switch inside of you. Well, in that case, maybe you should reconsider.
それじゃあ、そろそろ。
She nods, seemingly having made up her mind, and grabs the front of her coat.
やっぱダメ。
And she's still hesitating. Okay, so you say, so what's the big deal, or what's the big hold up?
やっぱり誰かが来たらどうしようっていうのと恥ずかしいのとで頭が変になりそうで。
And the nerves send you into a panic, so you freeze up.
羽島くんはどうしてそんなに冷静なの？人の心を失ったの？
Come on, you're taking advantage of this. You're making fun of me. You enjoy watching me in panic, right? Well, it doesn't really matter to me either way.
よし、じゃあ羽島くんも露出して。それに私も続くから。
No. Hell no. I'm not wearing any cosplay, so what would you want me to expose?
股間にぶら下がってる装飾品を。
Well, it's bigger than a finger. I have, you know, and besides, that's illegal.
ほら、男の子っておしっこ我慢できなくなったらその辺でするんでしょ？その延長線上だと思えば。
Well, stop acting like my dick is some magic bullet for all your troubles. That's totally different, okay?
私よりすごいものを見せつけられたら私も勢いでできると思うの。だから。
Okay, just chill.
眷属。
Come on, you're supposed to help me, and you're not making it any better. Hey, don't try to win me over with peer pressure, either. I'm not going to flash at you, period.
お願い、一瞬だけ。そうね。よし、先っちょだけでいいから。
So what's in there to negotiate? I said I'm not doing it.
なんか非協力的。
Well, I've been carrying your bag around for half an hour. All the while, you're keeping an eye out to see if anyone's coming. Is that enough for you? Or do you really want to see it that badly? I'm not sure how to feel when you start apologizing, but just give up on it, okay?
せっかくここまで来たのに。
I noticed that you've been fidgeting the whole time. You really want to do this, don't you?
だってブログを読んだ時すごくドキドキしたんだもん。
So you're wanting to get a taste of that same excitement, right?
ごめんね。変なことに付き合わせちゃって。
Okay, so stop apologizing. I'm genuinely impressed by your curiosity and determination. You know that?
羽 島くん、ありがとう。いい人すぎて将来悪い女に騙されないか心配。
Okay, can I go home now?
ああ、ごめんってば。お願いだから愛想つかさないで。
Please, just a little bit longer. Give me a break. There's no way I get sick of her. She may be undercover, but there's a girl in cosplay right in front of me, and she's blushing. But I'll wisely keep my mouth shut about that. Okay, are you okay on time? So what about your curfew?
あ、そうだね。早くしないと。
Oh yeah, so the time. So why don't you just open up a coat for a split second and then close it again?
それすらもできないから困ってるの。
I can't. Oh, alright. Huh? So you're going to do it then?
お願い。
Okay, so one step forward. Oh, sorry. Huh? For a moment, I don't get what she's implying. Wait, me? You want me to take your coat off? Wait a minute, that's kind of wrong.
私じゃ無理だから。
Oh, but...
お願い、時間がないの。ほら、早く。
Well, hurry up, I'm running out of time. She frozen in place, seemingly waiting for me to make my move. Wait, what the heck? How did she get this idea into her head? I hesitate, but my hand automatically reaches out for her. I mean... Okay, come on. But I really have no choice. Or do I really have a choice here? I guess I get to strip a girl and expose her cosplay to the world. What kind of man would I be if I didn't take you on this?
橋島くん、怖いからなんか怖いこと言いながら近づいてこないで怖い。
So despite her gripes, Kagimura-san doesn't attempt to run away. And that only adds to my guilt, the feeling that I'm doing something bad. Oh, I'm sorry, I'll stop talking. But if you really want to take off your coat, you'll have to bear with me then. So I approach her, ignoring her faint mutters. And I place my hand on her coat.
脱がせ方、わかる？
Yeah, I saw you put it on, so...
そうだよね。
So her breath tickles my neck. All I'm doing is taking off her coat, but for some reason it's incredibly thrilling. I start undoing the buttons down the front.
開いていくと外気が入ってきてちょっとヒヤッとする。
It's getting cold. Well, you don't have to give me a play-by-play, it's distracting.
ごめん、なんか黙ってると変に意識しちゃって。
So saying that is only going to make it more awkward.
そうだよね。ごめん、黙ってる。
So it's sort of embarrassing when somebody actually shuts up after you tell them to. Okay, you okay? I'm not touching anywhere I shouldn't be, right?
大丈夫だよ。でも、なんか余計変な感じ。気づいたら、このまま裸にされちゃいそう。
So I wonder why Alice is going off into interesting thoughts again. Oh, I'm sorry. No, just what you said kind of turned me on. Well, geez, what the heck am I saying? Kagomira-san has no idea how to respond. Well, it's not that unusual for her to blurt out weird things when she's flustered. Well, can I keep going and take it off entirely, or do you want to hold it yourself so you can put it back on whenever you want?
残しといてくれるかな。全部脱がされると恥ずかしいから。
Sure, no problem. So because we're so close, I instinctively reduce my voice to whisper. Though that only makes the situation feel all the more inappropriate, I slowly lower her coat and hang it over her arm. Okay, so it's off. How's that?
橋間くん、橋間くん。待って、このまま離れないで。
Wait, this is not gonna work. But
お願い。ほんと、今、ドキドキしすぎて危ないの。今離れられたら、恥ずかしすぎてコートすぐ着ちゃうと思う。
so what does Alice want at this point? It's like she wants to be in cosplay, but she's afraid to do so. And it's making it hard for Reiji to decide or help Alice out.
ほんとすごいから。なんだったら、そうって確かめていいから。
I'm sure she wouldn't get angry if I actually did it though. But I don't want to take advantage of her gullibility. Well, and besides, I'm still far removed from my true goal. It's okay, just relax, I'm right here. I'll tell you if I see anybody, okay?
わかった。でも、そっとだよ。
Okay, right. Well, to be honest, I like to stay like this a little bit longer. A girl in cosplay is looking at me with teary gaze. I don't think any guy in his right mind would step away from this. But now it's not my turn to enjoy myself. So I slowly inch away from her. So how's this then?
あ、いや、さっきと同じ。緊張しすぎて、一滴も絞り出せない感じ。
Wait, Kagomira-san? She looks anxious, but that's exactly why I have to say this. So the very moment you are in the middle of a residential area dressed up as the heroine from a children's anime, so you're the student council president, everyone respects you, and even your friends would never expect you to do something like this.
いや、わざわざ、今、そんなこと言わないで。
I'm sure at this point Alice does not want to hear all that. It's like, well, you kind of reminded me of all the things I'm trying not to think about. So the blush on her face deepens with embarrassment. But behind it all, I can sense a shot of happiness, or a hint of happiness. So are you scared? Or are you excited?
なんか
Oh crap. So did I frighten her? I'm sorry, I thought it might help you become more aware of the situation, but... So did it end up freaking you out then?
違う。そうじゃないの。
So Kagomira-san, trembling hard, suddenly grabs mine. Trembling hand.
ドキドキしすぎて苦しくて自分じゃわからなくて代わりに
So,
確かめてくれる。
what is the thing that Alice is trying to get Reiji to do at this point? So she leads my hand toward her body. Wait, Kagomira-san, stop. At this rate, I'm going to...
でもここまで来てこの気持ちが何なのかわからない方が嫌だ。
Well, but that is not... So when she said something about me touching her chest a minute ago, I was pretty sure she was joking. But now, honestly, why is she so assertive, and why only at times like this? And at the wrong moment, Alice's cell phone rings. Oh crap, I'm sorry, it's my phone. Oh, so it's Reiji's phone. And I think Naita's wondering what Reiji's doing out this late and why it's taking this long for him to send Alice back home or to the station. Wait, Kagami-san? She keeps a tight hold on my hand, and I can feel her twitching uncontrollably. Huh? Wait, don't tell me. Wait, are you okay? Right, but well, never mind me. I'm asking if you're okay. Well, I'm okay. I'm fine. She whispers in my ear as she caresses my hand now in front of her skirt. But honestly, she doesn't look fine to me. Well, Kagami-san, I hear footsteps. And I have a feeling that both Reiji and Alice feel that it may be someone that they know, and they're probably checking up on Alice and or Reiji. Hey, geez. Well, stop moving around. I'll put your coat back on. I quickly slipped the coat over the panicking girl's shoulders. Okay, so once Reiji puts Alice's coat back on, Alice regains her senses. And I'm going to go ahead and stop here for episode 12. And I do apologize that I went over an hour on this episode because I wanted to get the entire cosplay on the street scene in this episode. So I did cut out a few parts here and there because Alice was getting so panicked that she started going into all these inappropriate thoughts for Reiji. But thankfully Reiji's trying to get Alice to calm down and, okay, just think clearly. You want to do this. Don't worry. I'm here. It'll be fine. So we'll see how this continues. But I can safely say that this cosplay on the street event didn't go that well. But I'm pretty sure there is another opportunity for Alice to do this. Not just this one time. But at least Alice did try to be brave and make the first step here and there. So walk to the streets with a coat over her cosplay and at least take off part of her coat. But I'm sure after a few more practices, it'll be much more natural and comfortable for Alice to walk out in cosplay without any concerns and such. So with that in mind, I will see you later.